Chimaev is on an absolute another level. He just dominated Robert Whittaker in their UFC 308 co-main event. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just like my Taporia video, I'll say it again. I told you guys, I picked Khamzat Chimaev by round one submission, and he does just that with that nasty neck crank, face crank, whatever the hell you want to call it. Ooh, God. And before we jump into the fight itself, have you guys seen the picture of Robert Whitaker's jaw? So you know how teeth are like, I don't even know how to like demonstrate it. You know, like they're this. That's round. Your jaw's round. His teeth were like back here. If you haven't seen the picture, don't. It's gross. That's nasty. I hope Whitaker's all right, but Khamzat's on another level. I said this before the fight. People are criminally underrating this man's grappling and wrestling ability. It is the best in the UFC. Prime for prime, peak for peak. When they're at their best, this dude's grappling is untouched. Nobody even comes close. Not in Islam Makhachev. Nobody else. And to do that to Robert Whittaker in the very first round is insane. And I said this in my TikTok video. Go follow me over there. I'll throw it on screen. Get me to 23K. And subscribe on here. If everybody that watched this video subscribed, I'd get to 3,000 subscribers. I know it's crazy, but why not do it? Let's just do it. But what I was saying is, this is one of the best wins in UFC history. And I know it sounds crazy. It's not for a belt, yada, yada, yada. But to do what Khamzat did to Robert Whittaker, is genuinely insane. It is extremely, extremely impressive. He absolutely ran through him. We have a healthy Khamzat. He's got his fucking aura back, man. He has his aura back. And man, I knew some shit was about to go down when he started running to the cage in the beginning during his walkout. He's healthy. He's strong. I hope he just starts stacking fights together now. He better be fighting for the damn title. I'll get to that in a little bit, but fight starts. Whittaker lands two nice low kicks. Doesn't really matter, though. Khamzat closes the distance. Very bouncy on his feet. Looks energetic. And then he gets that takedown. And then he kind of works the position for a while. I think it's pretty clear that Khamzat is a position over submission type of guy. He was working it for a while. Whittaker was, doing all right defensively. Some scrambles. He was getting to his knee, getting to his feet. But Khamzat was just relentless, with his pace, with his cardio, with his pressure. He just didn't let Robert Whittaker breathe. And as I said, to do that to Robert Whittaker, I can't emphasize enough how crazy that is. To go out there, show absolutely no respect, and do what you've done your entire UFC career. There was so many doubts coming into this fight. Is Khamzat really this good? Is he going to pull out? He's disappointing. He was one of the biggest prospects. Now he's just a disappointment. No, he's back. Khamzat Chimaev is back, and he should be fighting for the title next. That crank, face crank, whatever the hell you want to call it, was nasty. He had Whittaker tapping in like a second. Confirmed dislocated jaw. Absolutely nasty, man. Nasty, nasty work from Khamzat Chimaev. Not shocked, though. I'm not shocked. I knew coming to this fight that people are underrating this man's grappling, and when he's at his best, he is unbeatable. When he's at his best, he's unbeatable. And you could say Whittaker's a more well-rounded fighter. I'd agree with you, but the highs of Chimaev are better than the highs of Whittaker. And I don't care how many training sessions, how many training camps Whittaker had, he was not stopping the takedowns of Khamzat Chimaev. Nobody can. It's crazy. Nobody could stop the takedowns of Khamzat Chimaev. I thought the ability to control Kamaru Usman in round one doesn't get enough credit. But to go out there and ragdoll. The title of my YouTube video is, no, I didn't post on YouTube, my bad. On TikTok, is Khamzat Chimaev is going to ragdoll Robert Whittaker. And that's exactly what he did. We saw Dricus du Plessis ragdoll Robert Whittaker. Now, of course, Dricus is very strong, very good grappler, but he isn't on the level of Khamzat Chimaev. No way. So I was pretty confident coming into this fight that Khamzat was going to go out there, do what he always does, and he did what he always does. Round one submission. And I think his cardio, he's here now. I think Chimaev has arrived. I think his cardio is going to be better. I think he's going to be fighting more, staying active, staying healthy, and just running through these guys, man. I think he's going to be running through these guys. And it's clear to me that, and it's clear, it should be clear to everyone that Khamzat Chimaev is the next contender for the belt in the middleweight division. I'd be extremely disappointed in the UFC if we go the Sean Strickland route, because I don't even think you can argue Sean Strickland deserves it now, because, yeah, he beat Israel Adesanya. Okay, he won the belt. I think he lost to Dricus du Plessis, like many did. The media scorecards had Dricus du Plessis winning. And for Sean Strickland and his fans to be pretty much saying he was robbed, acting like it was the worst robbery in UFC history, is a coping mechanism, absolutely. So he lost that fight, and then he beats Apollo Costa, who isn't very good, who Robert Whittaker beat in better fashion and just got destroyed by Khamzat. I know MMA math doesn't really work, but so you're telling me, if you're on Sean Strickland's side, you're telling me a win over Israel Adesanya, a loss to Dricus du Plessis, and a win over Paulo Costa is better and more deserving, since let's take into account he got an undeserved title shot in the beginning, beating an unranked Abus Magomedov. You're telling me all that is more deserving than a win over Li Jingliang? That's not it. I'm just throwing that name out there. Kevin Holland, Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman, and Robert Whittaker. Submitting Robert Whittaker in the very first round? There's no way. So I'd be disappointed more than anything if we give the title shot to Sean Strickland, because we're cooked as an organization. We're cooked as an organization if we give him that shot. I'd lose a lot of faith. The way the UFC is going, I have a lot of criticisms, I should say. John Jones versus Stipe Miocic, I don't think is a good fight. Objectively, I do not think it's the right fight. Even looking back a little bit, Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, objectively not the right fight to make. Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera, objectively not the fight to make. So I'd be disappointed if we see Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland, and I simply wouldn't understand the thought process behind it, because we've already seen that fight. It was quite boring due to Sean Strickland and his style. He hypes up these fights, but in my opinion, they disappoint. I don't think Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland was that great of a fight, and I don't think it would sell that great in a rematch, and I don't think it would be that great of a fight in the rematch. And on the other hand, we have a guy like Khamzat Chimaev, who just destroyed, ragdolled, and submitted Robert Whittaker in the first round, and I think he could bring a different angle to the press conference, and I know for damn sure the fight would be better. Sean Strickland isn't as good for the sport as a Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat's the future, and that's something I thought we saw tonight. I've kind of realized that when I've thought about the card. Tonight was a night for the future. In the co-main and main event, we saw Khamzat Chimaev ragdoll and submit Robert Whittaker in the first round, and then in the main event, we saw Ilia Topuria knock out Max Holloway for the first time in his career. So I thought that was kind of cool. I think the new era is really here. I think Ilia Topuria is that new breed of mixed martial arts and MMA fighters. But Khamzat couldn't be more impressed, and I'm happy for him. All the bullshit he had to go through with the COVID and this, that, and whatever, and for him to finally get a fight with a big name of Robert Whittaker and really show out, it is nice. I think he deserves it, and I think he's that level. And I told you guys, this was probably my best card of the year. I had Khamzat by round 1 KO, or round 1 submission, and then Topuria by round 2 knockout. It ended up being round 3, but I was uber confident on those picks, and I was flushing out a ton of videos on my TikTok. Follow me over there. So it's nice to get that done. But I was confident in Khamzat. I knew his grappling was another level. I knew people were underrating his grappling, and he showed out tonight. And I can't emphasize enough how insane it was. To do that to Robert Whittaker is different gravy, man. It's different level. People got to get that through their brain. What Khamzat just did to Whittaker. Nobody does that, man. Nobody does that. And I'll stand by it in saying it's one of the best performances in UFC history. And say you don't want to go that far. It's damn near or very clear. Let me restart. It's definitely one of the best performances in recent UFC history. Khamzat round 1 submission. For Whittaker, it sucks, man. Where does he go from here? Maybe a Brendan Allen, maybe it sucks, man, because he's always so close, but he just doesn't break through. Maybe a Nasruddin Imavov, because I think Or was, no, I saw some shit on Israel Adesanya's story about him studying Nasruddin Imavov, so maybe that fight happens. Maybe you could do a Kyle Baralho. I think that's a very fun fight. But it sucks for Whittaker, man. You got to feel for Whittaker. Really good dude, fan favorite. Broken jaw, too. It was nasty, man. Or dislocated. It's probably everything. It's probably broken, dislocated, everything. His teeth were in like the back of his throat. It was nasty, man. Praying for Whittaker. Hopefully he comes back strong. Really good dude. Doesn't deserve that at all. But at the end of the day, Khamzat is different. He is a different level, different gravy, different animal. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on all my socials. Link will be in the description. Bye.